Welcome to Real Bear Reviews, your paradise for movie lovers. Thank you for supporting our channel. Your love keeps us alive and growing.
Hello, everyone. Today we continue our treasure hunting adventure with Benjamin. I wonder what new things he'll find today. Please join me and watch this super great movie. The film begins with two men giving Benjamin's great-grandfather, Thomas, a diary containing an ancient cipher to decipher. Meanwhile, at a hall, President Abraham Lincoln is giving a speech 5 days after he unified the country when he is suddenly shot and killed by an assassin. Over here, Benjamin's great-grandfather has also just finished deciphering and realizes it's a treasure map. As he is about to tell the two guests, Thomas discovers that they are members of the Southern Confederacy who want to reclaim power. After their identities are revealed, the chubby man threatens him with a gun, demanding he continue deciphering. Thomas would rather die than betray his country, so he tears out the most important page and throws it into the fireplace. The chubby man rushes to save the paper, but half of it has already burned. Before he dies, Thomas tells his son that the clue to finding the treasure is the debt that everyone must pay. Why didn't he just say it out loud, so his descendants wouldn't have to go through the trouble of deciphering it? Bringing us back to the present, Benjamin, after helping the government recover a treasure worth $200 billion, has received the highest honor and has become a lecturer. While he is passionately talking about the merits of his ancestors, a bald-headed antique dealer appears. He says that the protagonist's ancestor was the mastermind behind the assassination of President Lincoln 140 years ago. He claims that the so-called treasure map or the burning of the diary was just a cover to hide the evidence. The bald man even brings out the burned page and claims it's the list of the killers. Immediately, a museum employee takes the paper for comparison, and it surprisingly matches the page that Thomas had torn perfectly. This directly ruins Benjamin's family honor. To clear his family's name, the protagonist embarks on a new adventure. After discovering the $200 billion treasure, Benjamin married Dr. Abigail, but they are currently divorced due to their clashing personalities. So they are constantly arguing. As a result, Benjamin has to move back to his father's house and leaves the mansion to Abigail. However, all the modern equipment used to scan the ancient diary is in the mansion. If he wants to find a clue, he has to swallow his pride and go there. So Benjamin asks his best friend, Riley, to hack into the security system and unlock the door for him. Just then, they see Abigail coming home with her new boyfriend. Seeing this, Riley laughs and mocks his friend, while Benjamin realizes that his love rival is a White House manager. The protagonist immediately runs over to confront the two of them, which makes Abigail's new boyfriend jealous. If I can't have her, no one can. Why be stupid and let another guy have my wife? Benjamin tells his ex-wife about his problem and asks her to use the scanner to help him find a clue in the diary. Out of respect for their past, she reluctantly agrees. After scanning it thousands of times, they finally find a hidden cipher inside the burned paper. To get more information to decipher it, Benjamin goes home to ask his father about his ancestors. His father says that before he died, his great-grandfather Thomas mentioned the debt that everyone must pay. Benjamin immediately deduces that the phrase refers to death, which helps him discover that the next clue is on the Statue of Liberty. Very quickly, the two best friends arrive in France. They use a drone to record all the images of the Statue of Liberty. As expected, there are some lines of text carved on the statue. They ask some kind policeman to help them translate. The text is about a British ship in the 19th century. This ship set sail towards the Pacific Ocean and was trapped by a storm. Luckily, an American fleet passing by helped bring it back to England. When the ship officially retired, the Queen used its wood to make 2 desks. She named them Steadfast, one in a London study and the other in the American president's Oval Office. While Benjamin is on his way to London, his father back home is suddenly attacked. It turns out the bald antique dealer wants to use the protagonist to find the treasure for him. He sends his men to knock Benjamin's father out and installs spyware on his phone to track him. This is how the bald man gets to hear about their next move. Over here, Riley hacks into the management system of Buckingham Palace and finds an elevator that leads directly to the Queen's room, but Benjamin has to get past the security room if he wants to get to the elevator. The next day, the two best friends pretend to be palace tourists. Riley hides in a corner and uses his laptop to hack into the building's security system. Benjamin spills wine on himself and causes a commotion to try to approach security. Just as he is about to carry out his plan, Abigail suddenly appears. It turns out the protagonist's father wants his son and daughter-in-law to get back together, so he informed her of everything. So the two of them immediately start arguing, making the whole hall look at them. The security guard thinks they are drunk and causing trouble, so he locks them both in the security room. When he leaves, Riley immediately opens the door and lets the two of them out. The bickering couple quickly gets into the elevator and heads to the Queen's room. They search around the Steadfast desk for clues. As expected, they find a series of numbers under a cabinet with 1876 on it. Then, he activates a hidden mechanism and a secret compartment opens. Inside is a piece of wood carved with ancient script. Seeing the security guard returning, Riley immediately tells them to leave. The hacker also turns off all the cameras and activates the fire alarm to create chaos. But as soon as they leave the palace, They are discovered by the bald-headed man. As if his intuition told him, the protagonist accidentally looks back and sees him. The scoundrel says nothing and orders his men to shoot first. Knowing they are in a dangerous situation, the three of them quickly floor the gas pedal and speed away, while the antique dealer's men chase them closely. Benjamin calls him and persuades him to stop, but he says he will never give up until he gets what he wants. Knowing that if they continue this cat-and-mouse game, they will soon be dead and his phone's battery is dead, so he can't take a picture of the piece of wood, Benjamin decides to run a red light so that the traffic camera can record the content on it. Riley then hacks into the police's main computer to retrieve this photo. After that, they throw the piece of wood into the river, forcing the bald man to stop and fish it out. Successfully escaping the bad guy, the three of them return to Benjamin's father's house to decipher it. He says that these ancient texts are from 500 years ago, when the natives ruled the American land. Among them is a character that describes the legendary City of Gold. In 1527, a Spanish ship was wrecked off the coast of America. At that time, a sailor saved the chief of a local tribe. His reward was a tour of the sacred city. It was a city built of solid gold, but since then, no one has seen the City of Gold again, and this Amlata legend has made many explorers come to this land to hunt for treasure. But they didn't find treasure. They only saw the scene of white people exterminating the red people to seize the land. Benjamin guesses that the reason the Southern Confederacy returned was for the City of Gold. To decipher the remaining characters, the protagonist goes to find his mother. She is a classical linguist, but just like her son, the two of them often disagree, so they fight whenever they meet, neither one yielding to the other. Benjamin has to yell loudly to get his parents to calm down. What a chaotic family. According to his mother, the text on this piece of wood is incomplete. They have to go into the president's room to get the other piece. Meanwhile, the antique dealer takes the piece of wood to a black man and asks him to help decipher it. Although the black man can't solve it, he knows where the missing piece of wood is. The bald man hears this and is not in a hurry, because he just needs to sit still and let Benjamin find the piece of wood and then steal it. Here, Abigail introduces Benjamin to Connor, her new boyfriend. Benjamin's provocative action makes Connor jealous. He doesn't want to lose face in front of his girlfriend and love rival, so he agrees to take the two of them to the president's room. Once inside, Abigail pretends she dropped an earring. Since not everyone can enter the president's room, if security finds an earring here, not only will Connor lose his job, but even the president will be kicked out by his wife to sleep under a bridge. While Abigail and Connor are searching, the protagonist checks the desk. He opens the secret compartment, but there is nothing inside except a strange symbol. After some research, they discover that this is the symbol of a book that has been passed down from one president to another. Only the owner of the White House has the right to read it. For his family's honor and the purity of his ancestors, Benjamin decides to kidnap the president. If this trip fails, he can't wash away his crime even if he jumps into the Yellow River. The president's birthday is coming up, so the White House staff is very busy. Everyone tries to rent a room at a 5-star hotel where the president will be staying to carry out the plan. On the day of the birthday, Benjamin secretly swims across the lake and pretends to be a guest to approach the president. The protagonist knows that the president likes a person who contributed to the founding of the United States, so he brings out a blueprint of Washington to attract him. After hearing this, the president goes with the protagonist to check it out. To avoid being disturbed, the president orders the Secret Service not to come near them. When he steps inside, he immediately closes the door and locks them both in. At this point, he honestly tells him everything and hopes the president will help him find the truth of the matter. Unexpectedly, he is not angry and agrees to help Benjamin. However, if he doesn't find the City of Gold, he will have to sit in prison for a long time. Very quickly, as the president instructs, he finds the mysterious book. Inside is a picture of the remaining piece of wood, but when they are about to leave, the police have surrounded them. Knowing they can't escape, Benjamin sends the picture to his number to ask his mother to help him decipher it. After that, he and everyone else split up and run their own way. The protagonist doesn't know that his father's phone has been installed with spyware, so the bald man also gets the picture. He brings a gun and forces his mother to decipher it. Having no other choice, she has to do it. She secretly leaves a clue for her husband. However, the last clue is still in the bald man's hands. The two pieces of wood talk about a huge treasure, and the way to get there is written in a letter from the Queen of England. After deciphering it, the antique dealer burns the letter. He wants to be the only one to find the City of Gold. The next day, he takes Benjamin's mother to the mountain with the statues of the 5 American presidents. But the protagonist has been waiting here since before. He says that he only needs to find the City of Gold to clear his ancestor's name, and he doesn't need the treasure or valuable objects. However, the bald man has to go alone and leave his men behind. After that, everyone quickly moves to a lake. Here, the bald man says that according to the letter, the entrance to the City of Gold only appears in a big, cloudless storm. Benjamin immediately deciphers the phrase and tells everyone to pour water on the stones. Soon, Abigail finds an eagle symbol. This is the symbol of the Native American warriors. The next sentence in the letter says, "Offer your hand to the warrior's heart." The protagonist puts his hand inside and tries to hook something. He finally hooks a rock that activates a secret mechanism. Immediately, an entrance is opened. Inside the cave is an ancient temple. The objects inside are all badly damaged and unusable. Riley stupidly touches a rope and it breaks. As a result, a huge rock falls down and blocks the exit. No matter how hard they try to push it, they can't. There is no way out, so they have to continue moving forward. The hacker sees a golden statue and calls everyone to come and see it. They accidentally fall into a balancing trap. If this stone slab tilts to one side, they will all die. While the four of them are standing at the four corners to keep their balance, Benjamin's parents are still looking for them above. They see a ladder nearby that can help everyone escape this trap. But if they move incorrectly, they will definitely die. According to Benjamin's instructions, the group will move slowly to help the ladder lift up. The antique dealer doesn't cooperate. He wants to be the one to climb up first, or he will tip over the stone slab. Having no other choice, the protagonist agrees. So the bald man climbs up first, and the stone slab starts to collapse. When Abigail climbs up next, Benjamin and Riley have to jump out as fast as possible. In a critical moment, Abigail discovers a golden statue. She immediately pushes it down under the stone slab, giving the two of them more time to jump onto the ladder. Thanks to this, they escape death. After that, everyone continues to follow the sound of the running water that leads to another basement. The protagonist uses a flare to light a torch, making the basement bright. Many waterfalls pour directly into here, but there is nothing around. Benjamin looks at the water and guesses there must be a way underneath. Searching around, he discovers a stone mill in the middle. So they all work together to turn it actively. Immediately, the nearby waterfalls are closed, revealing a secret passage. Following the path, they are amazed by what they see in front of them. This is the legendary City of Gold. Everything is made of solid gold. Benjamin's parents also quickly arrive from another passage. At this point, the bald man admits that he deliberately framed the protagonist's ancestors, but that was the only way to make him help him find this huge treasure. Just then, the door, unable to withstand the water pressure, breaks open, directly submerging the City of Gold. Seeing this, they immediately run to the escape door. However, one person has to sacrifice himself to stay and hold the door open for the others to escape. The bald man doesn't want to die, so he takes Abigail hostage. Having no other choice, Benjamin has to stay. He asks his ex-wife to take care of his parents for him. Just as everyone is escaping, a rock suddenly falls down, throwing the protagonist far away. The door also slowly closes. In the critical moment, the antique dealer surprisingly turns around and uses his body to hold the door open for Benjamin to leave. He wants to be the first person to find and stay in the City of Gold. After safely escaping, he is summoned to meet the American president. Because he found the City of Gold, he is pardoned for the crime of kidnapping. His ancestors are also cleared and recognized as people who contributed to the founding of the country. The film ends with an image of Benjamin and his ex-wife feeding the audience with a romantic scene. Hello, and see you all again. Music.